Commander Tara Singh stood at the viewport of the Terran Defense Force training vessel Endeavour, watching as the sleek Raxian warship Dawn's Light approached their rendezvous point. After decades of cold relations, this joint training exercise represented the first real attempt at military cooperation between humans and the technologically advanced Raxians. "They're still treating this like a courtesy call," Lieutenant James Rodriguez said, joining her at the viewport. "Did you see their latest message? They're bringing minimal crew, minimal weapons. They think we're primitive." Tara smiled, though there was steel in her eyes. "Let them think what they want. They'll learn." The Raxians were notorious for their dismissive attitude toward Deathworlders, like humans. Their homeworld was a paradise of stable weather and minimal predators. They'd developed their advanced technology through millennia of peace, looking down on species that had evolved through struggle. The Dawn's Light completed its approach, its crystalline hull reflecting starlight like scattered diamonds. A delegation of Raxians transported aboard, led by Commander Vorkath, his iridescent scales shimmering under the ship's lights. His 4 eyes blinked in sequence as he regarded Tara. "Commander Singh," he said, his translator converting musical tones into English, "we are honored to participate in this exercise." The pause before "honored" spoke volumes. Tara maintained her professional demeanor. "The honor is ours, Commander. We've prepared several scenarios that will challenge both our crews." "Indeed." Vorkath's upper eyes narrowed slightly. "Though perhaps we should simplify them. We wouldn't want to overwhelm your crew with our more advanced tactical doctrines." Before Tara could respond, the ship's AI cut in. Multiple unidentified vessels dropping out of FTL. Energy signatures matched known pirate configurations. The lights shifted to combat red as 5 ships materialized around them. Not the sleek predatory vessels of organized pirates, but the cobbled-together threat of desperate outcasts, perhaps the most dangerous kind. "Battle stations," Tara barked. "Lieutenant Rodriguez, get our guests to safety." "Unacceptable," Vorkath interrupted. "We will coordinate our defense. The Dawn's Light has superior shields." The first salvo hit before he could finish. The pirates had targeted the Raxian ship, perhaps assuming its more advanced technology would make it the greater threat. They hadn't counted on the outdated sensors missing the Endeavor's newer stealth systems. "Your shields are failing," Tara said, watching tactical displays. "The pirates are using frequency modulators. They've studied Raxian defenses." Vorkath's scales paled. "Impossible. Our technology is predictable," Tara finished. "Everyone knows Raxians rely on shields. Pirates would have planned for that. Rodriguez, get us between them and the Dawn's Light. Tactical, load irregular pattern scatter shots." The human crew moved with practiced efficiency, the product of endless drills. The Endeavour surged forward, its older but heavily modified hull absorbing hits that would have shattered the Raxian shields. "Your hull will breach," Vorkath protested. "The stress tolerances were designed for worse," Tara said, keeping her voice steady as the ship shuddered. "We're from Earth, Commander. Everything there tries to kill you. We build accordingly." The pirates, expecting an easy target, found themselves facing a vessel that refused to die. The Endeavor's return fire came in chaotic patterns, impossible to predict, while its hull, reinforced with lessons learned from centuries of warfare, held firm. "Multiple hull breaches on decks 3 through 5, the AI reported. "Emergency force fields holding. Engineering reports reactor strain at acceptable levels." Vorkath stared at the damage reports, his translator struggling to convey his astonishment. "Acceptable. Your ship is being torn apart." "No," Tara corrected, allowing herself a grim smile. "It's doing exactly what it was built for. Tactical. Execute pattern Sierra 9. The Endeavour suddenly cut engines, appearing to drift. 3 pirate ships moved in for the kill, exactly as planned. The ship's dying maneuver had drawn them into perfect position. Now, hidden weapon ports opened along the hull, unleashing a barrage that caught the pirates completely off guard. 2 ships exploded immediately, while the third spun away, crippled. The remaining pirates, realizing their mistake, attempted to flee. Dawn's light. Terra commanded, target their engines with your main battery. Time to show us what Raxian precision can do. Perhaps it was the confidence in her voice, or the evidence of human competence before him. But Vorkath didn't hesitate. The Raxian ship's weapons found their marks with devastating accuracy, disabled the remaining pirates with surgical precision. As the battle ended, Vorkath turned to Terra, all 4 eyes focused intently. "Commander Singh, I believe I owe you an apology. We have much to learn from each other." Terra nodded, already organizing rescue and salvage operations. "That's why we're here, Commander. Humanity didn't survive Earth by being superior. We survived by adapting, by learning, by turning every failure into a lesson." She gestured to the viewport, where both ships' crews were already working together to secure the area. This wasn't the training exercise we planned, but maybe it was the one we needed. The first real step toward cooperation had come not from carefully planned scenarios, but from facing real danger together. As Terra watched humans and Raxians working side by side, she knew that sometimes the best lessons were the ones you never saw coming. The aftermath of battle left both ships limping through deep space, their crews exhausted but alive. 3 days into emergency repairs, Commander Terra Singh found herself in the Endeavor's makeshift war room, facing an increasingly difficult situation. The pirates damaged our long-range communications beyond repair, Lieutenant Rodriguez reported, his usual confidence strained. The Dawn's light isn't much better off. Their quantum array is completely fried. Vorkath, who had taken to spending more time aboard the human vessel, flexed his scaled fingers. "Our auxiliary systems could be modified to boost a signal, but we light up like a beacon for every pirate in the sector." Terra finished. She studied the star charts hovering above the table, plotting invisible lines between systems. "We're too far out for short-range calls. We need to move." The problem was choosing a direction. The battle had forced them well off their planned exercise route, into a poorly mapped region of space. The pirates had been clever in their attack location. "There's a Raxian outpost in the Kelvin sector," Vorkath suggested. "Our ship's cooled." "Won't make it," Chief Engineer Raj Patil interrupted, entering the room with grease-stained hands and dark circles under his eyes. "Sorry, Commander. Those last hits did more damage than we thought. The Endeavor's core is losing containment efficiency. We've got maybe 2 weeks of FTL travel before we're running on emergency power only." Terra watched Vorkath's scales ripple with concern. The Raxian commander had learned to respect human resilience, but this was different. This was physics and math, problems that couldn't be solved with determination alone. The Dawn's light could proceed alone, Vorkath offered, though his tone suggested he already knew the answer. "Your life support is operating at 30% capacity," Terra reminded him. "You need our engineers as much as we need your technical database." She zoomed in on a particular section of the star chart. "There's another option. Outpost 47. The room grew quiet. Outpost 47 was notorious, a haven for smugglers, mercenaries, and others who preferred to avoid official attention. It was closer than the Raxian outpost, but getting there meant crossing through contested space. "Absolutely not," Vorkath's translator crackled with emphasis. "That station is a den of criminals. The Raxian Confederation has explicitly forbidden." "We're not in the Confederation right now," Terra cut in. "We're in survival mode. The station has the parts we need, and more importantly, they don't ask questions." Rodriguez shifted uncomfortably. "Commander, the crew's already on edge. Mixing with station populations like that is exactly what we're trained for," Terra finished. She turned to Raj. "Can you keep us flying that long?" The engineer nodded slowly. "If we shut down non-essential systems and run dark most of the way. It'll be tight, but better odds than pushing for the Raxian outpost." Vorkath's scales had taken on a pale hue. My crew will never agree to this. We are Raxian military. We do not consort with. Your crew will die if we don't get help, Terra said bluntly. I understand your principles, Commander, but principles don't keep ships flying or crews breathing. The next hours were tense as both crews adjusted to their new reality. The Endeavor and Dawn's Light moved in close formation, running with minimal power to avoid detection. Inside the ships, the situation grew more complex. Cultural differences that had been academic during training became critical points of friction. The Raxians, used to their advanced technology, struggled with the human approach to jury-rigging solutions. The humans, in turn, found Raxian adherence to protocols frustrating when quick fixes were needed. Terra found Raj in engineering late in the first week, attempting to explain improvised repairs to a clearly horrified Raxian technician. You cannot simply bypass safety protocols, the technician was saying, his translator barely keeping up with his agitated tones. These systems are designed with specific tolerances. Tolerances are for ideal conditions, Raj replied, hands deep in a control panel. We left ideal behind when those pirates showed up. Now we adapt or we die. The argument might have escalated if emergency klaxons hadn't chosen that moment to sound. Terra was back on the bridge in minutes, finding Rodriguez already at tactical. Multiple contacts, he reported. Different config than the pirates, but definitely not friendly. They're running search patterns. Vorkath, who had taken to monitoring both bridges, appeared on the main screen. Scavengers. They must have detected the residual radiation from the battle. They're searching for salvage. Or survivors to ransom, Terra added. She studied the sensor readings. 6 ships spread wide. They haven't spotted us yet, but they will if we move or power up. The Raxian commander's scales darkened with stress. We cannot engage. Not in our current condition. Agreed. But we can't stay here either. Terra turned to her crew. All hands, initiate silent running protocols. Vorkath, have your people sync their systems to ours. We're going to drift. What followed was perhaps the most nerve-wracking 8 hours of either crew's career. Both ships, running on minimal power, let momentum carry them through the search pattern. The scavengers passed within kilometers, close enough that visual inspection was possible. In the darkness of silent running, something unexpected happened. Human and Raxian crews, forced into close quarters with limited power for environmental systems, began to truly work together. Raxian precision combined with human improvisation as they managed critical systems manually, keeping their ships costing through space. They're moving off, Rodriguez finally reported, his whisper carrying in the quiet bridge. Last ship is breaking formation, heading rimward. The tension broke like a physical thing. As systems came back online, Terra noticed Vorkath watching her with all 4 eyes. Your people, he said slowly, are remarkably adapted to crisis. We've had practice, Terra replied. Earth throws something new at you every day. You learn to think around problems instead of through them. Perhaps, Vorkath admitted, there is wisdom in that approach. He paused, scales shifting to a more determined shade. I will support your plan for Outpost 47. But, Commander, we must be careful. If we've attracted scavengers, the pirates won't be far behind. Terra finished. Agreed. We'll need to move fast, and we'll need to work together. No more arguments about protocols versus improvisation. We take the best of both approaches. As both ships resumed their careful journey toward the outpost, Terra couldn't help but wonder if this was what first contact should have been all along. Not carefully planned exercises, but different species learning to trust each other when everything was on the line. The outpost waited ahead, promising both salvation and danger. They would face it together, Deathworlders and Paradise-born alike, because sometimes survival meant learning to see beyond differences to the strength that lay in unity. Outpost 47 loomed before them, a sprawling collection of mismatched modules and makeshift docking arms. From a distance, it resembled a massive technological coral reef, growing haphazardly in the void. As the Endeavor and Dawn's light approached, Terra couldn't shake the feeling that they were being watched. Multiple weapons locked on both ships, Rodriguez confirmed. They're not taking chances. Outpost control to approaching vessels. A gravelly voice crackled over the comm. State your business or be vaporized. We're not particular about the order. Terra leaned forward. This is Commander Singh of the Endeavor. We're looking to make some quiet repairs and resupply. We can pay. A long pause followed. Your companion vessel reads as Raxian military. We don't typically serve their kind here. Times change, Terra replied smoothly. Credits spend the same, regardless of who's paying. Another pause. Dock at arms 7 and 12. Separate docking points. No funny business. As they maneuvered toward their assigned berths, Vorkath's image appeared on Terra's screen. I dislike this intensely. Noted, but we need those repairs. She studied his expression. Keep your crew calm. These people respect strength, not authority. Let my teams handle the negotiations. The docking procedure went smoothly enough, though Terra noticed the station's defensive turrets tracking their every move. Once secured, she assembled a small team including Raj and Rodriguez, while Vorkath reluctantly agreed to stay with his ship and coordinate remotely. The station's interior was exactly what Terra expected, a maze of corridors filled with a mix of species, most armed, all watchful. The air smelled of machine oil and alien spices, and the constant hum of jury-rigged systems filled the background. They found the parts dealer, a massive Kren named Grok, in what passed for a market square. His 6 eyes widened at their approach. Well, he rumbled. Terminal Authority and Raxian military, shopping together. These are interesting times. We need parts, Terra said simply, sliding a data chip across his counter. This is our list. Name your price. Grok studied the list, his expression unreadable. These are specific components. Military grade, the kind pirates might be looking for. Is that a problem? Could be. He leaned forward. Word is, there's a new pirate coalition forming. They hit a Raxian ship recently. Very professional job. Terra kept her expression neutral, but her mind raced. The attack hadn't been random. The pirates had known exactly where to find them. How much for the parts? She pressed. Double standard rate, Grok said. And information. Who's hunting you? Before Terra could respond, Rodriguez's hand shot to his weapon. Multiple armed contacts converging, he whispered. Not station security. Grok's expression shifted. Back room. Now. They barely made it through the door before plasma fire filled the market. Grok sealed the entrance, cursing in his native tongue. Pirates. He spat. They'd promised to leave my business alone. You knew they were here, Terra demanded. They've been gathering strength, making deals, but attacking customers in my shop. His color darkened with rage. That violates our arrangement. More weapons fire outside, followed by screams. Terra's communicator crackled. Commander, Vorkath's voice was urgent. Pirates are attempting to breach both ships. We're holding them off, but stand firm, Terra ordered. We'll find another way out of here. She turned to Grok. Your station has defense systems. Of course, but they're controlled from central operations, currently occupied by pirates. I guess. Raj spoke up. We don't need control, just access to the maintenance systems. He grinned at Terra. Remember that trick from the Jupiter incident? A slow smile spread across Terra's face. Grok, how do your waste management systems work? Trial by combat. The next hour was a lesson in human ingenuity that would go down in station history. While pirates attempted to breach both ships and search the market, Terra's team, guided by Grok through maintenance tunnels, executed a plan that no military manual would ever approve. Raj, working with a borrowed tablet and a lot of creative coding, managed to access the station's basic maintenance protocols. Not the weapons or security systems the pirates had seized, but the mundane systems that kept the station habitable. "Ready," he reported, fingers flying over the interface. "On your mark." Terra checked in with Vorkath one last time. The Raxian commander had positioned his crew to defend both ships, their superior technology making up for their smaller numbers. "Now," Terra ordered. Raj triggered his makeshift program. Throughout the station, waste management systems suddenly reversed. Pressure differentials, originally designed to ensure proper flow, instead created chaos. Storage tanks ruptured, emergency systems activated, and the station's carefully maintained atmosphere went haywire. Pirates found themselves fighting hurricane-force winds as emergency vents opened and closed randomly. Gravity plating fluctuated, turning simple movements into death-defying acrobatics. And through it all, Terra's team moved with purpose, having anticipated each effect. Humans, Grok observed as they fought their way toward central operations, are terrifyingly creative. The pirates, caught completely off guard, struggled to maintain control. Their superior numbers meant nothing in corridors where gravity shifted every 30 seconds. Their advanced weapons were useless when they couldn't keep their feet under them. Central operations fell within 20 minutes. The pirates, professionals who had expected an easy target, found themselves outmaneuvered by tactics no sane military would consider. As station security regained control, Terra received a transmission from Vorkath. "The ships are secure," he reported. "And Commander, you need to see this. Strength in unity." The captured pirates yielded an unexpected discovery. Data recovered from their leaders revealed the truth. They weren't simple raiders, but pawns in a larger game. Certain factions within both human and Raxian space had arranged the attack, hoping to derail any cooperation between the species. "They feared what we might accomplish together," Vorkath said, studying the evidence in the Endeavor's war room. "Perhaps with good reason." Terra nodded. The past weeks had proven that human adaptability combined with Raxian precision created something powerful, something that threatened those who preferred the old divisions. "The question is," she said, "what do we do about it?" The answer came from an unexpected source. Grok, impressed by their handling of the crisis, offered not just the parts they needed but a proposal. "Outpost 47 sits at a crossroads," he explained. "We see everything that moves through this sector. Let us be your eyes and ears. In return, we gain the protection of both your peoples." It was unprecedented, an independent station aligning itself with both Terminal Authority and the Raxian Confederation. But then, everything about this mission had broken precedent. As repairs were completed, and both ships prepared to return to their respective territories, Terra found herself again standing with Vorkath at a viewport. When this mission began, the Raxian commander said, "I thought we had nothing to learn from Deathworlders. I was wrong. Your people's strength isn't in your technology or even your resilience. It's in your ability to see solutions where others see only problems." "And your people," Terra replied, "showed us that precision and protocol have their place. Together, we're stronger than either of us alone." The joint training exercise had become something more, proof that differences could become advantages when survival was on the line. As both ships departed Outpost 47, they left behind more than repairs and defeated pirates. They left hope for a future where humanity's unconventional thinking and Raxian technological prowess might reshape the galaxy. Back in Terminal Authority space, Terra filed her final report on the mission. The official version was diplomatic, focusing on the successful cooperation between species. The unofficial lessons about trust, adaptation, and the strength found in unity, those would be remembered by the crews who lived them. And somewhere in the void, pirates and politicians alike were learning a valuable lesson. Underestimating Deathworlders was dangerous enough, but underestimating what they could accomplish with allies was even worse. The stars stretched out before them, full of challenges and opportunities. Human ingenuity and Raxian precision had proven to be a formidable combination. Whatever came next, they would face it together, each species bringing their unique strengths to the alliance. After all, Survival wasn't just about being the strongest or the most advanced. Sometimes, it was about finding strength in unexpected places and allies in former adversaries. The Deathworlders had proven their worth not by dominating, but by adapting, cooperating, and turning potential enemies into steadfast friends. The galaxy would never be the same.